A major breakthrough in the fight against COVID-19, or breakthroughs. The FDA has issued an emergency use authorization for the first self-COVID-19 test that can tell you whether you have COVID while you're at home, but you still need a prescription for that one. I'm joined by the co-founder and clinical director of Cure Urgent Care Centers in New York, Dr. Jake Deutsch. Doctor, good to see you.
Good morning.
And I want to say thank you for all your hard work. I understand you contracted COVID early on back in March. Tell us about your experience and how it's going now for you.
Yeah, it seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, we've been doing this for 8-9 months, really continue to see patients every day, hundreds of patients worried about COVID, needing COVID testing. My own personal illness, it was pretty severe. I had pneumonia. Luckily, did not have to be hospitalized. But taking care of myself at home was much more significant of an illness than I had ever anticipated. So it's important to realize, especially for Americans where cases are now going up, what you need to be prepared for to treat at home and kind of what to expect.
And doctor, how is it inside of the hospitals? I know that we've seen a couple times the frontline workers in various states taking video of inside the hospitals, and I'm so grateful that they did, because I think part of the problem is that people just don't see it. So if they're not affected by it, they don't understand the severity. How are the frontline workers, including yourself, doing mentally as this goes on and on?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're all sort of dealing with that long-term stress, not necessarily myself having long-term COVID symptoms, but just that continued stress of, every day just waking up and knowing that there's going to be more people that we have to take care of, and that this virus continues to rage. Luckily, in New York City, the number of cases is relatively low at 3%, but other parts of the United States, we're talking about a 40 to 50% positive rate. So the hospital utilizations there are, full capacity at ICUs, ERs that are just inundated with patients. And that's really what people do need to remember. That's the reality of this disease. And every single person that is affected by this is potentially a life lost. So that's a very heavy toll on everybody. And Americans are all worried about traveling and getting tested. I think that we all need to take a step back and really understand what this means for the people who are being affected with their lives.
Yeah, the number is staggering, just the death toll in the U.S. alone. And speaking of testing, early on, Dr. Fauci said, of course, social distancing, washing your hands, wearing a mask, but testing was key. What about the take-home test? You still need a prescription for that, but it is promising the more people we can test.
Right. So anything that we're going to be able to give more access to testing is positive. This is an at-home test, which is just recently approved by the FDA, which you would actually swab yourself. It's indicated for 14 and older. You do need a prescription from your doctor. So this isn't something you're going to be able to go pick up at the pharmacy. But it is one more piece of information we'll be able to get testing on a larger scale. In New York City, there's lines down the block to get testing currently. And other parts of the country, you need an appointment or they don't even have enough testing. So, this is important that we move forward with simple ways to test with a quick turnaround. Unfortunately, its sensitivity of this test is about 94%. Most rapid tests are about 96%. The gold standard, the PCR test that goes to the laboratory, is at 99%. So, we have to use this in conjunction with the severity of the situation. If you were exposed or having symptoms, you need a PCR test. If it's just a quick screening to maybe travel or, before a surgery, maybe this would be an option. So, there's a lot more that we have to really put into place to understand how to use this.
Well, again, thank you for all that you do and everyone that you know on the front lines there. Doctor, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.